Okay, Horikoshi, I see you making the war arc better every chapter after chapter. Let's get it. Before we hop into this review of chapter 303 of My Hero Academia, please leave your own thoughts on the chapter in the comment section down below, leave a like, and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, let's get into it. What's up guys, I got the pencil here, and here we are to review chapter 303 of My Hero Academia, aka My Fire Academia. Here's the thing, thank you all to every single person who took their time out of their day last week on last week's video, or this week if you commented then, to explain to me the Dabi situation a bit better. I was obviously looking at it way too linearly. I understand what my problem is with it, but at the same time, y'all did a fantastic job explaining to me, so thank you. You've made me understand the situation a whole lot better, and now I see it much clearer, and I'm much more sensible with Dabi as a character. Doing great, fantastic, I like it a lot, I like it a lot. However, let's hop into 303. Now, here's the thing, I love this chapter, mainly because we're getting what I was hoping we would get. We are getting Hawks and Best Jeanist walking in on Endeavor, and they basically have the entire conversation about how things have changed, how things have gotten better. There are some points I will note, but I'm just going to quickly summarize the entire chapter because I know I have a lot to talk about. So it's basically Best Jeanist and Endeavor alongside Hawks, all agreeing to talk together, work together, all because of the new situation now. Hawks is explaining everything, like how civilians are going nuts, how heroes are getting stalled from coming from other countries because of the whole Hero Commission stuff, all those issues, and everyone's talking about how they need to team up. However, this is what intrigues me the most. Hawks asks what One for All is, and Endeavor, he knows something about it because Midoriya said something about it. So then they leave to go towards Midoriya and them in the hospital, and then Bakugo's angry, screaming, whatever, Bakugo being a basic generic character that he is, and everyone's talking about how Midoriya is still in the coma, Uraraka's anxious because that's all Uraraka cares about. No, I'm kidding. That's actually a legitimate worry because he is one of her classmates. Everyone is worried about Midoriya, so it makes sense that I'm not mad at her for that. I'm not mad at her for that. Then Dynamite, see, I read Dynamite. Best Jeanist and Hawk show up, and they want to talk to Midoriya, but All Might has requested that he has alone time with Midoriya. Hawk says All Might. Chapter ends with All Might talking about how Midoriya is having a chit chat with the previous One for All holders. Alright, so basically, I don't have any problems with this chapter. I wish I did because then I could critique something. But no, I only got praise and I got questions. So let's go all the way back to the beginning. It's cool to see Hawks still using the text to speech thing. I don't know. I really like that. I really want to know what he's going to sound like in the anime. Are they actually just going to give him a generic robot voice? Or are they actually going to let the voice actor talk? I feel like they have to give him a robot voice because they're putting so much emphasis on this. I can't wait to see that in the anime. 2, I'm really happy to see Ray apologize for Dabi. I don't know why. I feel like it's just a very nice moment, and I love how Hawks instantly is like, no wait, no, we're good, no, ma'am, that's not your fault at all, it's fine, please don't worry about that. It's like, once again, I do wish Ray took a little bit more responsibility for Dabi, but I still, to a degree, I still can't blame her for what her entire situation was. I still think Ray is more victim than she is perpetrator, at least in my mind. I still put a lot of the perpetrator blame on Endeavor, but that's just me. I completely understand if you disagree, if you think Ray should have taken more responsibility, because I think she should have too, but I'm glad to see her do this, because it's a little bit more responsibility. She's really apologizing. She feels bad, and I like that. And Best Jeanist makes a comment on illegal denim, and I gotta ask, what is illegal denim? Like the same thing that the characters ask in the chapter, what the heck is illegal denim? But that's neither here nor there. Then we see that Best Jeanist is talking about how they need to understand the situation better. And what I enjoy the most about this is that before we even get into the situation, we see that Hawks respects Shoto for being able to call his mom after what his mom did, and for him to be able to accept his family after what his family did to him. And I like that too. I just don't think Shoto's character arc was done well enough for me to 100% like his mom. I understand because his mom, once again, she went crazy because of external circumstances. Endeavor, as much as I love Endeavor as a character, I think Shoto accepting Endeavor as a mentor / father figure so quickly, what feels quickly to me, since a lot of his like arc and development with his dad goes on off screen, I feel like it's whack. But I'm glad Hawks and Shoto have this mutual respect because they both went through rough situations. In my mind, Hawks was way worse, but still, rough situations. They were both trained. Really, when you look at that, Hawks and Shoto are basically the same character, except Hawks was raised up by the Hero Commission, while Shoto was raised up by his dad. I'm sad that Shoto has basically no reaction to this. Like, Shoto has no reaction to anything. That's the only issue I have. Like, I know Shoto doesn't really understand what he's saying, but he could have at least acknowledged it. All Shoto does here is be the meme that he always is, and I guess it's fine. It's his character type, so he's just doesn't really understand what's going on. However, what I like the most is that we're getting clarifications of who's gone and where. So Skeptic still missing. That's intriguing to me because I'm like, actually, no, that makes sense because he was in one of the spears that Compra sent off before he got cut up. Apparently he's not dead. I don't think he's confirmed dead just yet. But Shigaraki's still missing, makes sense. Dabi's missing, Toga's missing. But no, here's the thing. Where is Toga? Because I don't remember, unless I'm mistaken, maybe I need to go reread that chapter. I don't remember Toga popping back up with everyone else. Hold on, I'm going to check that right now. Yeah, Toga is still a absolute wild card because I just went back to the chapter and I don't see her with Spinner, Dabi, All For One in them when they've gotten free from the prison. I don't see her there. So she's just wiling out somewhere. So hopefully she wile out somewhere and do something interesting because I don't know. I'm still not the biggest fan of Toga, I'm not going to lie. That's completely different. But everyone else missing 7 near high-end Nomu, they're all unknown. Fantastic. That's living threats. Those are literal boss battles. Just send our characters off to fight those characters one by one. That's individual boss battles. Fantastic. I'm rocking with it. Then, of course, all the prisons being liberated. That's fine. I wish we had a bit more backstory and a bit more heft to like all these prisons and criminals. I know that would be way too much effort for Horikoshi to expect to do, especially since I'm pretty sure he wasn't 100% planning this, but considering this is just like nebulous threats, like there are villains running amok and we have no real context for them because it's just 6 random prisons plus Tartarus, who we still don't, the only people we understand that were in there that we knew previously were Muscular and Moonfish and Overhaul, but Overhaul's still useless as far as I know, and obviously the woman, we just don't know what she's done. But I think that's fine. Villains are on the rise. That's cool. I wanted a chaotic era. This is probably as close as I'm going to get. Please give me my time skip. I need it, but at the same time, I understand why he's not time skipping right now because he's building a lot into like the current world, which could lead to a time skip. I'm just saying. But regardless of that, I think we're in a real interesting spot. And I liked it. I liked that we're acknowledging the outside world because like the way that My Hero Academia presents itself, you would easily you would lead yourself to the conclusion that, oh, heroes only exist in Japan, quirks only exist in Japan, because we never hear about the outside world. The only time we really hear about the outside world is in My Hero Academia Vigilante. Like, you have to go out of your way to a completely different source material to barely even be reminded that there are American heroes, that there are other heroes. That in the movies. I know the movies are canon. I think the second movie's canon. I'm not sure about the canonicity of the first one. But I know that people go out of their way. You have to go out of your way to find out, oh yeah, there's an America with quirks, heroes, the entire mess. But what Hawk says is interesting because the Hero Commission is down. So that means technically no hero is allowed to do real work. They're turning in resignations and stuff like that, but they aren't necessarily allowed to properly function without the Hero Commission. So I'm super intrigued to see how that's going to go. Like, are we going to get some vigilante characters? Are they going to re-rise? Is this the time? Or is it time for evolution and growth? Like, is the hero system going to evolve itself now to counteract the new villain situation? Please, let it. Enough of this hero nonsense. Let's just get some real old-fashioned general heroes. But happiest thing I am to see is that Hawks and Best Jeanist have this like nice weird bond now, where since Best Jeanist trusted Hawks with his life already, that he's just comfortable with going with Hawks to the very end, and he wants to team up with Endeavor alongside just the top 3 heroes teaming up to take care of business, because they 3 are real heroes and they're all ready to take responsibility for what they've done. And I love how Natsuo says, like, this is Natsuo, in my opinion, is like the weakest of all the characters in the Todoroki family, even weaker than Rei. But the thing is, I love how Endeavor is like told to fight this through, but Natsuo looks sad, and he's like, no, Dad, just until you stop Toya. And then Endeavor's just right. So this implies to me that Endeavor is going to retire right after Toya is defeated. And I'm perfectly fine with that. I think that's great because honestly, Endeavor's been through so much. He needs to reconcile time with his family. He needs to change. And I'm perfectly fine with that. That's wonderful. And I honestly can't wait to see where we get from there. However, as Hawks begins to like tell Endeavor about, oh, how are we going to respond to this entire Toya accusation mess? How are we supposed to deal with that? He questions. And obviously, this is, I was so excited. One for all. And apparently everyone knows about it because Midoriya was an idiot. Like, here's the thing. I understand why Midoriya specifically said one for all to Endeavor. But at the same time, why couldn't Midoriya just say, he's coming for me because of my power? Like, because Endeavor, everyone knows Midoriya is super strong. Like, they've all seen it at the sports festival, just in general. They know Midoriya is strong. So he literally could have just said, he's coming for my super strength to complete himself, or something like that. Like, he didn't have to say one for all. And like, the reason I say this is, I blame it on Midoriya, is because it's specifically referring, we heard that during his fight with Shigaraki, Endeavor muttered something about one for all. Do you know what that is? You know why Endeavor knows one for all is? Because Midoriya snitched on himself. Like, that's 100% Midoriya's fault. But it'd be like that when it'd be like that sometimes. I can't be mad at Midoriya. It was a high tension, quick situation. He obviously didn't have the time to think. I'm just ragging on Midoriya, because you know it's what I do here for a living. But now, what I like is that now that one for all is out, the cat's out the bag. People are making connections already. The supervillain all for one, what's going on? What's happening? What's transpiring? And Hawks is ready. He's like, I need to know what that is. And Endeavor obviously is flashing back. And he explains everything. I'm assuming he's explaining what Midoriya said, and that's why Hawks and Best Units go to Midoriya right after that. And obviously, it's just everyone being worried for Class 1A. I'm glad they're happy. It's good to know that Kaminari and Tokoyami can be discharged, but all this is kind of irrelevant. I'm more intrigued with One for All and the implications that has, because now if Midoriya's cat is out of the bag, in the sense that he got a gifted quirk, something that not everyone knew, some people were predicting it in the world of My Hero Academia, obviously, but not everybody knew. What I'm intrigued to see now is who is going to run with that fact, who's going to go nuts with it, because I feel like Hawks is about to, because when Hawks is told that All Might's asking for time alone with Midoriya, he says All Might in like a questioning tone, like he has the ellipses before and after the All Might, and in my mind, that's Hawks is a genius. Here's the thing, Hawks is an absolute genius, so I can literally see him running the calculations in his head, like, okay, All Might always seems to be around this kid, One for All Might seem to have a similar super strength power. Like I know Hawks is putting the pieces together about One for All, moment by moment, just like all the theory crafters in the My Hero Academia world are. Like, how we theory crafted about Dabi, people are theory crafting about One for All right now, and I love that, because now Midoriya is, once again, he's paying for his actions. I like this a lot. The thing is, one of the main issues I have with Midoriya is that while he goes through a lot of physical trauma, none of that really sticks and lasts. Like, sure, he has scars, but he covers the scars up most of the time anyway, so you'll never see them. But the great thing about this is that this is an implication upon the entire world. The secret of One for All was supposed to be a secret for a reason, because if people find out the origin of One for All, they're going to obviously ask, well, where did it come from? And then it's going to be explained that it came from All for One, the greatest supervillain. And then they're going to realize that All Might was essentially wielding the gifted power of the world's greatest supervillain against the world's greatest supervillain, and was honestly living a lie and not telling people the entire truth for years. The symbol of All Might's going to crash down even further, and I love it. And it's all because of a mistake Midoriya made in the heat of the moment that's going to cost him. He's going to have to pay up for this. And I love that. This is great. I'm really enjoying this, because it's opening the world way wider. And by opening the world way wider, I mean, it's knowledge, information is very, very key. It's super important to anybody, especially in a world like My Hero Academia, where information is the key to everything. Like, if you know something about someone else, like whether it be their quirk, their ability, something like that, or their past, you can run wild with it. And what this could do, what if All for One finds out that the One for All secret's out the bag, you know he's going to spit something about it. He's going to like take over the radio waves or something and be like, yeah, yes, you're wondering about One for All, aren't you? Well, as my associate Dabi revealed about the past of Endeavor, I have something revealed in the past about your favorite #1 hero, All Might. He was the one, and just going wild with it, because this is what I'm excited for. It leads to so much potential, because if everyone's figuring out about One for All, then that means secret's out of the bag. Midoriya's going to have to explain that. All Might's going to have to explain that. It's going to be wonderful. Chapter ends, though, with Midoriya having a chit-chat with the previous One for All holders. So, people assume this is what he was in a coma for. I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it, because I'm assuming the reason he can even talk to them right now is because he's so close to the verge of death. Like, my man was basically dead. I honestly want to see how he healed. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Midoriya's body was a wreck and in shambles. I don't know how he healed so quickly. This is 2 days after the war arc. Did he get Lady Chio'd again? Like, there's a specific reason we're not being shown how he got healed, in my mind, because I'm pretty sure Horikoshi established that rule that he can't be healed again, or he would lose his arms, but he still needs his arms, because obviously his arms. So I feel like he's having a chit chat, and we're not learning about how he was healed, because Horikoshi's like, oh, well, shoot, I said that, but I can't rock with that. Because I don't know, he seems weird. And I can't tell if this shading on the last page is like One for All glowing on his throat, or if it's just like shading. Like, I don't I don't think so. I think it may just be One for All because it has the gaps. It's not like a solid shading line, like a shadow underneath his chin. And it makes sense since his throat, his vocal cords are being used. Now the question is, how physical is he in that realm now? Because I've fully accepted quirk nonsense. I've just given up on trying to critique the system or find any sort of logical consistency in it. So I'm just intrigued now to see, is he more stable now? Because the one thing he didn't have, like he didn't have a mouth or throat, like he couldn't communicate in that realm. But now, since he's so close to death, can he communicate? Is he able to, is he having a full out-of-body experience right now? Is he living through the past lives of the previous One for All holders? Are they explaining it to him? Are we getting like are we getting a Todoroki family situation, but except the family giving us legitimate flashbacks? Midoriya is just going to be simultaneously living through the past One for All wielders? Because if so, I think that's going to be cool to see. I want to learn more about the past of My Hero Academia. In my mind, it's the most interesting part. Why haven't you read Illegals then? I'm too impatient to read Vigilante. I'm going to read it once that's further in. I'm going to catch up, I promise. But I don't know. I'm super intrigued to see where we're going now. And that's the great thing. To wrap up, I think we're in a very interesting spot for My Hero Academia as a whole. We could go in a ton of different directions. All of them appear to be interesting. I'm really excited to where we're going. Obviously, we're done with Todoroki stuff for now. We're going to be flashing into Midoriya's head with this coma stuff. Can't wait to see where we're going, and I hope this changes Midoriya as a character. Like everyone else does, I hope this does something for Midoriya as a character, and I hope he doesn't come out as the same person that he was before he went to the coma. But other than that, I say this is a really solid chapter. This is an easy 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 chapter. It does so much for the characters, it says so much for the world, it explains so much about the world that we didn't know, like One for All being, the cat being out the bag. It leads to a lot of good speculation, and I can't wait to see where we're going with My Hero Academia, which is fantastic. I love when I'm excited to see more. And I hate the weekly wait, but I'll wait weekly because this story, it's really ramping up. It's getting super good right now. I'm enjoying it. But what do you guys think about the story? Please tell me in the comment section down below. What would you rate this chapter out of 10? What's your favorite moment from the chapter? My favorite moment, obviously, it's Hawks asking about One for All. I'm too hyped for that. But regardless, thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.